Peace, love, and light. How is everyone feeling today? Thank you for being here today. Yesterday, I couldn't be here because I had a dental appointment and I couldn't really talk. The left side of my mouth was really like blown up, and I couldn't talk properly. So, of course, I wasn't going to come on here and do a video under those circumstances. But I feel better. The dental work is, I hate going to the dentist. And when you go, they take you right away. Anybody ever notice that? You only sit for like 3 minutes and they tell you come right in. But when you go to your PCP doctor, you wait forever. I don't understand that. But anyway, I'm glad it's over and I don't have to go back for another 6 or 7 months. But in any event, I'm here today. I told you guys, and I promise you guys I'm going to try to show up on this channel as much as possible because I want these messages to spread all over so that everyone can jump on a bandwagon of helping one another because it helps yourself as well. So before I get into it, I want to say once again to everyone, I hope you are being uplifted and encouraged, and that these messages here that I am using, that I do myself and I'm using to help you, is helping you, and that you are taking notes and applying these things to your healing process. So thank you again for being here. Before we get started, I also want to say to you that I am not a therapist or social worker of any sort. I don't have a license or anything in that category, but I'm here sharing with you what has helped me to heal and that I'm still healing. Healing is an ongoing process, but the things that caused me a great deal of despair and how I was in a state of depression and how the tidbits I'm sharing here has helped me, and I'm hoping it can help you as well. So, in reference to therapy, etc., please, whatever state you are in, Google a therapist in your area and connect with one, and also see if you can connect with grief bereavement groups in your area as well, because those groups, you're going to hear stories from individuals who've gone through grief due to the loss of a loved one like yourself. So please look into it. All these little things help, because I did the same thing, everything that I'm sharing here with you today. So let's jump in the topic of discussion, which is learning lessons. Learning lessons is part of healing as well. This was a hard one for me, people, because I had to keep repeating lesson after lesson. And the lesson was I was being subservient for far too long to too many people who were not deserving of my time or energy. But that's how I was. And I had to take a step back after 2020 and losing so many people and the despair, and look at my life and look in the mirror and say, why am I allowing myself to be a doormat to other people? What is it about me? And one of the things I learned through therapy, which I'm still doing, is that I had to learn to love myself, because I felt that if I did A, B, C, and D and twist myself inside and out like a pretzel, I can get people to like me, and yay, they would do this and that, that kind of energy. And no, it was not. You can't force anybody to like you. They naturally like you or they don't, and I wanted people to like me so much, whether it was family members or just people in general or business, etc. And I would overdo my generosity and helping people and doing things for people. But it was an unequal give and take situation. Even with relationships, I'm going, working overtime to do A, B, C, and D, and I'm being thrown crumbs. Here you are. This is what you deserve. No, it's not what I deserve. No, it's not. And I had to learn that. And it took a long time to learn that during the shutdown, doing therapy, getting homework, like homework from my therapist, And the way he does things is creatively because it's not a judgmental zone, but he would put things in a question form to you, to me. Do you think that you deserve A, B, C, and D? How did you want that situation to go? And what could you have done to navigate the situation in the direction that I wanted it to go? All these questions and things made me think. I'm a Virgo, by birth, so you know what stimulates my mind and get me going. And I did the homework, and it was hard to look in the mirror and say, "Wow, I'm letting people do A, B, C, and D to me," because during those therapy sessions in the beginning, more so, I had to face these things. I had to say, why am I letting this happen? you know and I realized that it was something within me as a child, growing up in a religious environment, a very strict religious environment, where you can't do this but you can do this. Do what I tell you. Well, why? Because I said so. Whatever happens in his house stays in his house. And no one is growing, no one is learning, no one is expanding, because this is taboo. You can't talk about this. It happened. We know it happened, so leave it alone. But yet, it's stagnated within you. You're not growing. And so I had to learn, and I didn't learn right away. It took years to learn this, people, because I repeated lesson after lesson. And each time you repeat a lesson that you haven't learned, the next time around that will spin, it's worse than the first lesson. And then the second lesson, by the time it goes to the third lesson, it's really a lot of pain and hurt, and I had to learn how to do this. Um, Allowing toxicity into my life and making excuses for people, toxic people, toxic jobs, toxic situations, spinning on that wheel over and over and over again, and letting people do any and everything, and saying, well, they didn't walk away, they're still here in my life, so something must be okay. No, it's not okay to let people do any and everything to you, to throw you a breadcrumb and tell you that's what you deserve. When you start to learn to love yourself, not to be in love with yourself. We're not talking about narcissistic behavior here, but to love yourself enough to know that you're worth more than that. You're giving and over giving, and somebody's throwing you a breadcrumb. And even after being with a narcissist for 10 years, I still didn't learn. I started to blame myself for things that I had nothing to do with, and it took the mirror to look in the mirror over and over again. Why are you allowing this? And homework assignments from therapy, and really looking closely at why I'm allowing this. And it took a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of reflecting, and little by little, as I started to gravitate to loving myself, I realized this is not something that I need or want. Why am I holding on to these people? They were holding on tight. I was holding on tight. And people were expecting this of me because I did it for most of my life, just giving people what they want, but forgetting about my own needs, or minimizing my own needs so that I can take care of the needs of others. And even sometimes to the point where taking on other people's burdens. Well, okay, I can fix that for you and I can make it right. No, that's their cross to bear. That's not my cross to bear. That's your situation. That's your burden. And it's not for me to take on other people's burdens and pick up their cross and carry it for them. No, and I had to learn that. And I had to learn it the hard way, because these lessons were getting worse and worse and worse as I continued to repeat them over and over again. And it started to feel like numb, inside. I started to feel that way because the needle on the record, it's like a needle on a record that's broken, and it's spinning around and around on the same words over and over. And it's like, that kind of thing. And I had to learn, I had to go through the work, the pain of it all, the crying. Why am I doing this? Why am I allowing this? And I had to learn that I was worth so much more. And the hard part of it is removing toxicity, and whether it's family members or people or situations out of my life. And that was the most difficult. And the reason why it was so difficult, people, is because when you are doing these things for a long time, you get used to being in that situation, used to making excuses for somebody who's only given the bare minimum, used to allowing people to take, okay, they need that more than I do, but it's mine. It has nothing to do with you, you know, just allowing it so that I can not have conflict with that person or situation, so just let it be. And we can't let it be because these things will build up in us and it will create more negative situations. Sometimes, like I said in a few videos back, people and situations and circumstances come into our life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And many of these reasons are to learn lessons so that we can grow from the lesson, see the toxicity, grow from it, learn, and heal. And once you heal from it, you don't repeat those same lessons, because let me tell you, I've repeated a few lessons 3 and 4 times, and it's no fun. It gets worse each time that wheels spin. And I had to learn that too. Oh no. So now I learn these lessons fast. When people think, oh, you think so much of yourself, I'm gonna knock you off a high horse because you think, no, I think enough of myself that I love myself to know what I deserve and what I don't deserve. And that's the purpose also here of this channel, is to help you as you heal from all these things that hurt and create stagnation within you. You start to love on yourself. You're worth it. And when someone thinks, oh, because you spend time alone, I like spending time alone. Sometimes, I want to go out and have friends, etc. And that's okay as well. But when I spend time alone, I get to reflect on the things that I need to change, and so that I can heal and grow. And some of the ways I do that is through music. That's where my creativity comes from. That's where my thinking of how to do things differently so it can help me to grow. Homework for my therapist help as well. That's why I always emphasize and reiterate the importance of therapy, and connecting with someone that you feel comfortable enough to talk to, and bereavement groups, because you're not the only one going through these difficulties by yourself. There's other people out there who going through things as well, but they don't talk about it. They may not be free to talk about their depression, their despair, their anxiety, because we all have something. None of us are perfect. We all have flaws. But when we recognize those flaws, are ready to work on it and say, hey, you know what? I'm just human, just like everybody else. We all are human. None of us are perfect. And if anyone tell you that, that's a joke. None of us are perfect and we have flaws. But the important thing is that we recognize them and we want to work on it to get better, to do better. When we feel better, we do better. Our mental and physical health is everything. That's a priority, because without that, we cannot take care of ourselves and we cannot take care of anything else around us. And if you find yourself, in toxic situations, think about how toxic it is, because nothing is perfect. But when it's affecting us physically and mentally, then we have to think about establishing boundaries so that we can protect our physical and mental health. That's so important. And yes, all of us is supposed to love ourselves, because when you love yourself, you know your worth, your self-worth, and what you deserve and what you don't deserve. And we don't deserve toxic situations and a high level of toxicity within our lives, especially going through grief of losing loved ones. And the grief itself can take a toll on your body, mind, and spirit. And we need to learn ways to heal it. I mentioned music. Other ways is just doing things that you love. If you spend some time alone reflecting and meditating on situations, that help too. meditation to me too is like positive videos about watching videos on healing toxicity and self-love and things that are going to build you up, and have pep talks with yourself too. I do that a lot when I'm driving, especially when you have those days when you feel anxiety and you feel overwhelmed, because we all have them. Give yourself a pep talk. If that doesn't seem to work, flick on a video. We all have good days, and then we have days that are not so good. And watch videos to uplift your spirit and to encourage you, like this one here is to do. And as I learn these different ways, I share them with you. You know, draw yourself into things to keep you busy, to keep your mind stimulated, and to do the things that you love the most. Those things help you to grow as well and to heal, believe it or not. You know, I'm a published author. I love writing. I put on a headset, I write, and the music, as I listen to it, my creative side comes out. That helps a lot. Do things that are going to engage you and keep you busy, you know. And as you pay it forward and helping yourself, helping other people, if you belong to a church, volunteer there or do some sort of volunteer work as well, because that stimulates your mind and it keeps you from staying in a place of grief, and anxiety due to the loss of a loved one. Like I said, we never get over it, but we can get through it. There's ways to help us to grow and get through it. And then pay it forward. Tell other people about this video. Tell other people how you healed and how you're still in the process of healing. Because any information that people who are in despair and depression hear, it's going to help them as well so that they can grow. And when we all grow and learn, we do better. And as we do better, we pay it forward and help others. So share this video. Like I said, the information within here can help you. We want to uplift everyone. And then while they're uplifted, they can help other people. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for listening to this message, and continue to share these videos. Subscribe here, comment below and let me know any specific category related to healing that you want to hear. I'll talk about it here. And if you want to be on here to talk about what you're going through, I'm open to doing that as well. So, and if you want to send me a personal email about this as well, it's Lisa, Lisa Vaughn, Vaughn 410 at gmail.com. Once again, Lisa Vaughn 410 at gmail.com. Send me a message on what you want to hear. If you want to be on here live to talk about some of the things that you need help with, or things that help you, shoot me an email. I'll be glad to hear from you. Thank you again for being here. This is Lisa, shedding love and light always. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care of your health and have a great day. Bye for now.